Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Brothers of Great Millstone Charlotte coming at you with another lesson through the spirit, power, and mercy of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, before we get started with this lesson, as always, we want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us the truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and mercy to the house of David. Habayaf, double down, hopefully, like to you all, we say shalom.
Shalom.
All right, once again, brothers of Great Millstone Charlotte. The brother Itazwan Gabar with me.
Quanawath.
So as you see in the news, right, geopolitical tension is rising, and the escalation that we see taking place is centered in the Middle East, right? So as prophets of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, we are to stand upon our watch, all right, and give the report to our people of these things that are happening, all right, which are beautiful, right? These are beautiful times that we're living in, right? We're seeing the world stage pretty much be set for World War III, which was prophesied in the scriptures. If you actually want to get that corner off, in Revelation, I think it's 13, no, 13, 11, 9 and 11.
It's Revelation. Chapter
8, 13.
Okay.
I misspoke.
Chapter 8, verse 13. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, 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 to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels, which are set to sound.
Yeah, which are yet to sound. World War III. Woe, woe, woe. You had the first woe, right? Which was World War I. The second woe had passed, which is World War II. And this third woe that cometh quickly, right, is World War III. And we see the stage being set for this to take place. Okay? But, again, we have to watch and measure the times diligently, as it tells us in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Okay? You go ahead and get that, bro. Matthew.
This is Matthew 24, and verse 6.
Speak on it.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Yep.
Right. Now I'm gonna read this in the NLT. It says, Matthew 24 and 6, and you will hear of wars and threats of wars, but don't panic. Yes, these things must take place, but the end won't follow immediately. You know, so me and the brother were just speaking before we turned the camera on, right? We see what's happening over there in regards to the president of Iran, right? We see these things taking place on the totality of the geopolitical scale, right? And we understand that all these things must take place in order to fulfill prophecy, but the end isn't coming immediately as a result, right? All these things are just catalysts that are leading up to the eventual end, man. Right? So this is why we're set on our watch, you know, to be able to filter these things through prophecy.
Yeah. Could you get that word for rumor, Baba Kusha?
This is the word for rumors. It's Strong's G 189.
Strong's G 189. Aka. Aka.
And it says, a sense of hearing. I'm going to jump to the point. It says here, hearsay, rumor, or report.
Right. A report, right? So you have reporters that are touching on these wars and reports of different wars, skirmishes that are taking place through the world, right? As we see what's happening right now with within the Middle East, right? We see what's happening within the proxy between Ukraine and Russia, right? There's various wars that are taking place across the world that are being reported on, right? But that's not indicative of the end just yet, right? These things serve as pieces to the puzzle to ultimately fulfill the end goal of these wars, which is World War III. But again, there are prophecies that have to take place, primarily the MOTB, the Haragmas, the implantable device spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter. Okay. You got something, bro?
I'm gonna get a definition real quick.
Yeah, that's why it's so important, right, to measure the times diligently, right? It's a point why the scriptures made that known, is because with all of these things that are coming to pass, hey, there's an order to these things being fulfilled. Matter of fact, you still looking for that?
Got it right.
Okay, go.
Just real quick, this the definition for that word catalyst, and it says one that precipitates a process or event, especially without being involved in or changed by the consequences. Right. So what we're seeing is all these different steps taking place, right, and they all lead to the same direction, man. You know, so the Iranian president, you know, him being put to death, the war between Russia and Ukraine, right? We see what's going on over there in China in regards to them seeking to go into space, you know, launch weaponry into space, right? And then you go into the various realms of the economy, right? All these things are leading to the ultimate downfall of Babylon the Great, man.
Yep, that's right. We got a quick precept. Then we go back to that Matthews. 2nd Ezra chapter 4 and verse 37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he does not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. All right, so everything is appointed to take place at its appointed time. All right, things have to take place before other things. Right, and that's the will of Yahweh Shemal Shai. That's how he has directed this whole script to play. Okay, and we have to adhere to that script. All right, and know that, look, there's things that are still going to have to come to fruition.
Right.
But know that this is, as the brother had read the definition, these events serve as catalysts.
Continuing on this, Matthew 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
You speak on it.
Right, so we're saying all these are the, you know, the tip of the iceberg, right? Right, there's a lot more to come, right, as a result. You know, we still got, like the brother may mention, the charagma, right? It, you know, all these things we see taking place, no matter what happens, until the charagma gets instituted, right, and mandated, right, we know, you know, that the nukes can't fly, man.
Right.
You know, so we, you know, continue to be patient and watching and waiting for these things, right?
Right. Could you look in the book of Job? It speaks about how he wished to reach his enterprise.
12, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Right, and what is the enterprise of this devil? Right, the fullness of this devil's enterprise is that charagma, man. All right, to institute that digital all that's going to pretty much subject the world under his rulership and have him exalted as the Most High. Right, but the Lord has it set up already through the Spirit that he's not going to be able to reach that. Right, he's going to be found in straits, as it tells us in the book of Job. You know. Just want to grab that right quick. I'm gonna read this right quick before you go on well. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, straight to the point. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Right. So it's already, you know, been preordained. Right. Every sequence of events that you see taking place, right? They're all on the Most High's timer, man. Right. So that time is set forth, and all we're here to do is to see those things and disseminate them, you know, through the scriptures, man. Right? And to give that understanding of what's taking place and why it's taking place, man. right? And as we watch and wait, right, we're seeing these things speak, right? So as we read through the scriptures, right, they shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it. We're watching these things and we're waiting for that ultimate end to take place, man. Right?
That's right.
Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Because it's gonna happen quicker than you believe, man. Right? These things, though it might be feeling like a long time, once all these things, that snowball starts to get bigger and bigger, man, it's gonna happen in a more rapid fashion, man.
That's right. Because you grab Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. Right? Because, like we're saying, right, that snowball effect, that gradualism, right, these rumors and reports of wars are going to ultimately drive us into the full-on world war that was spoken of, all right, as we read in Revelations, the 8th chapter. Okay?
So Joel chapter 3 and verse 9, it reads, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
Right, and we see that spirit of war being lifted up more and more. All right, as you can see on the TV, right, you have this council, right, of various nations that are trying to fight toward the, how should I say, the avoidance of war. Right, they're trying to deter from war, right? Acknowledging things that need to be rectified, but through the Spirit, the Lord got it set up to where war will be done. He said, "Proclaim this among the Gentiles,"
right?
And we know that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, pursuing the Proverbs, the 21st chapter. Okay, so at the end of the day, the Lord's will come to pass, and that is for war to be done in these latter days. You keep reading.
Beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong.
Right, let the weak say, I am strong. And the weak, these various nations that at one point were seen as insignificant, right? They were belittled by the beast system, America, NATO, and the EU, right? And pretty much bullied into whatever plans or indoctrinated into whatever lines and philosophies that Esau put to the mouths of their neighbors, right? They're now starting to realize, nah, fuck that. We fighting for this, right? And what we see happening right now, as Brother Quanwalk made mention of, the Iranian president that recently got deleted, along with the foreign minister, got deleted, and 6 other members that were on board that helicopter. Hey, that's stoking the flames of war, man. Right?
Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Let the heathen be awakened, and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Exactly. Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. Okay? Which is going to be where? The Middle East. Right? That's where World War III will start. That's where it's going to take place. And what a lot of these people fail to understand, as we had saw, I think it was last year, you had the, I think it was the G20 meeting, or the WEF, but they were discussing, can they deter from war in the Middle East, right? And through the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the answer is no, right? Because that's where the Lord has proclaimed that He will judge the heathens,
Right. They understand that this is going to be the centerpiece, right, of World War III.
Exactly.
Is what's taking place in the Middle East. So as we're watching, all the nations are doing everything in their power to try to offset that, man. Right. But the prophecy is what it is, man. It's going to take place the way it's written. And that's why you see things happen as in results of the Iranian president. You see what's going on between Russia and Ukraine right now, with Russia preparing to advance further into Ukraine. So everything is taking place for prophecy's sake, man.
Yep. Real quick, want to walk this with you. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 8, feeding off of Yahweh Shaphat. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy."
Right, so it's the determination of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for this all to take place, man. Right, it's his will at the end of the day. So as we see things, coming to pass, right, just understand that it's the will of the Lord, man. Right, nothing's happening that's outside of his control. Right, so though it might seem like a crazy event, right, taking place right now, this is all the Lord's will. Right, he's using this ultimately because if it comes out that the U.S. or Israel was involved in this in any manner, it's going to be the jumping off point, right, for the global war to take place.
Yep.
Right, and this is all the will of the Lord, right? Like the brother said, stoking that fire, man.
That's right. Yep. Let's grab Salakia. Ezekiel 38 and 5. We'll read through 7. Right, because with this tension that's occurring within the Middle East, right, there are power players that are involved in this region, one of which primarily being that bear, all right, Russia, all right, which is going to be utilized, all right, to knock the beast out of power. Okay, he's going to be leading that charge. You go ahead and get that.
Right, this is Ezekiel chapter 38 and verse 5. It reads, "Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, with them all of them with shield and helmet."
Right, now when you read this, it's speaking about the alliances that Russia pretty much has. Now when you go into Persia in particular, that is speaking of Iran. Okay, so as we see the tension that is occurring within the Iranian government, right? You have your foreign minister that has died. You have your president that has died. Two key figures in geopolitics, right? Who's going to be there to aid, right? Russia, right?
Right, because that land is already in a contentious state as it is. Right, so with the instability that would come from losing, like you said, the foreign minister and the president, they're gonna seek aid, right, to help rectify things, man.
Yeah.
Continuing on, it reads, "Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarroth of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee."
Right. Again, speaking of those different alliances that Russia has. You keep reading. You read on 7.
Okay. "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto."
That Russia will protect its allies. Okay, and we see with Iran in particular being in that region so close to the 48ers, right? And the 48ers having their own vendettas against Iran, right? It's really forcing Russia to step in, especially in a time like this, like you had made mention of, where there can be political instability that could come about, right? It's a possibility that Russia could come in there to try to fortify the state of the country. You know what I'm saying?
Because there's reports that there are already Russian warships in those waters, right, patrolling the area. And like it says, if you read this in the NLT, it says, "Get ready, be prepared, keep all the armies around you mobilized, and take command of them." Right, so them already being in war mode, right, in regards to Ukraine, it's nothing for them to mobilize a few more forces to go and assist Iran, man. Right, they're already in that mindset. Right, all these other nations are still trying to catch up. Right, that's why we see, we got the UN meeting on the screen, right? That's why you see them in such disarray, right? It's because they're not prepared, for what's to come. Russia is already ready. China is already ready, right? But you go into these EU nations, they know that they're not prepared. That's why they're doing everything in their power to keep these things from coming forth, man.
Exactly. Yep. And when you go into it, right? Could you grab? What is it? I think it's Jeremiah 48. Let me see here. Jeremiah 48 and 20. All right. Because who's really stirring the pot, so to speak, and causing a lot of these problems is Esau, right? Primarily starting with the head tribe of Esau, the Amalekites, the 48ers. A lot of this global tension is due directly to their position of authority in that region, particularly, as well as their influence through the world. You know, you gotta grab that one.
So Jeremiah chapter 48 and verse 20.
49 and 20. So like, I misspoke.
Jeremiah 49 and 20. It reads, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom."
All right, the counsel that the Lord has taken against Edom. And who's in the position of authority now? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white race. So if they are the ones that the Lord has taken counsel against, then that directly means that the Lord is against the power structure that he has.
Because there's a council going on in the heavens, man. And the Lord he's sitting up there directing, both the left hand angels and the right hand angels, man. So he's sending them in to have everything you see take place, right, happen at his will and on his time, man.
Yep.
It continues on, it reads, "And his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman."
Right, the modern day Temanites, right, the modern day Teman, is Babylon the Great, America. Okay.
"Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Right, so surely the 48ers will draw America, Babylon the Great, into this war, all right? This World War III, and we're gradually seeing that stage set as we see the 48ers, they're completely gun-ho for war, right? You just had the ICC, the International Crimes Court, try to propose an arrest for not a Jew, right? To try and pretty much get him charged for his crimes that have pretty much attributed to the loss of thousands of lives within that region of the Middle East and the Gaza Strip, And as we know, he's not going out like that. No.
By any means, he's going to try to fortify himself in the only thing that he knows how to, which is war.
Yep.
So, these wars are going to continue to intensify, and this event that we saw happen yesterday is just one part of the puzzle, all right? But to you brothers and sisters, continue to stay on your watch, all right? Continue to pray, continue to fast, all right? And may Yahweh Hashem Shai such a protection be upon you. You got something?
No.
What to say like that? Hey, so Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. Close out giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us the truth and rule well. Peace, blessings, and mercy to the house of David. Habayah without hopeful elect. To you all we say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.